First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
You know, live from New York, it's the show saying goodbye to Young Jock. Was that what it was? Kadarius Toney's rap name?
Oh, no, Young Jock is an actual
Yeah, right.
Young Joker.
Sorry, that Young Joker.
Young
I'm sorry.
Joker.
I'm like, yes, I know Young Jock.
Yeah, Young Jock.
Young
of course.
Joker.
It's going down.
Yes.
Famous Young Jock album.
Yes.
Yeah. Or maybe Joker, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was probably Joker.
Yeah, that's right.
Joker.
Yeah,
Young
there you
Joker.
go.
Andy Reid even played a few songs at the facility.
Can I tell you something? You maybe should have talked about this little improvisation at the top of the show beforehand.
Well, Kadarius Toney.
But two-time Super Bowl champion. Two-time Super Bowl champion.
You loved Kadarius.
I loved Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's two-time Super Bowl champion, Kadarius Toney.
That's not
Are we
bad.
going to talk about him later? I don't know. He played 2 seasons with the Chiefs. They won 2 championships. Seems pretty good. I don't know. It seems pretty good. And by the way, it seems like we have...
win
Hold
the
on, we're doing
championship.
blueprint
Oh,
on
sorry.
ours.
Quite a deep wide receiver room for cutting 2-time Super Bowl champion. Go ahead.
You know what? He could go back to the Giants. Is Brew worried about his Eagles? Meanwhile, Purdy threw another practice interception.
Uh-oh.
And again, I just wrote the same question twice. Is Brew getting worried about his 49ers from Brock Purdy?
Yes, I didn't make it clear enough yesterday.
Well, there's new information.
One interception, one more
Bro,
interception.
it's
is
just
supposed to-
eventually,
My God.
if you lose
when
$1,
he starts doing it on Sundays, then I'll worry.
Oh, okay. Well, it was Monday.
and I think this was on a
I think it
Sunday.
was
This
on
one
Sunday.
here.
We wrote it
Real
yesterday.
Sundays.
Yeah.
Sundays, they count.
Grant
right?
Cohn's always like 20 hours behind. And finally, prediction week rolls on. The NFC and the AFC West.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. There are some surprises in
They're
store.
huge surprises.
Ooh.
Huge.
Not from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He must be picking another AFC West team to make the playoffs.
The Chargers?
That'd be a-
Well, let's just wait. It's in an hour.
That's what it is.
I want to give the audience, it's called the trailer for a movie.
It's in
Sounds
an
like
hour.
you want to give them the actual answer.
It's the Chargers, everybody. I saw
It's
it.
not.
I didn't see it.
And also, maybe the
redacted.
surprises are in the NFC West. Either way, let's start the show.
Cardinals?
This has
I
been
know
too
exactly
long.
what he's going with the NFC West.
You don't
Gino?
know anything, bro.
Rams to win
You
the
know
division.
You do love the Rams. All of a sudden you're like,
I know that's
you
what
love
it
the
is.
Rams. We're
I
starting
didn't
with
see it. I just know.
an optimistic Aaron Rodgers. Granted, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in 23 games, but Rodgers envisions a successful road to the final game of his career, telling Albert Breer, the picture-perfect ending is going out holding the Lombardi. That rarely happens for people. There's only been a couple of guys. John Elway did it. Peyton Manning did it. Very few guys can do that. I didn't want my last image of me being carted off the field. Okay. Brew, do you think this is a realistic goal?
Absolutely. Now, that doesn't mean I'm predicting it to happen, but realistic, like within the realm of possibility, sure.
Yeah.
Like the Jets are going, Nick, I say it, this for the umpteenth time. On paper, the Jets are magnificent.
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 That's
Hold on.
too strong.
Okay, let me bring the paper to you.
Okay.
One of the best defensive backfields in the league. Is that fair?
Agreed.
Okay. Nice linebacking core.
Agreed.
Quinnen Williams up front.
That's right. I think the D-line is a question mark past Quinnen Williams because the edge rushers. You know what I mean?
But
So
would you agree? I mean, they should be.
They should be a
one of the
very
top
good defense.
Okay, a top defense.
Yeah.
Offensively, I know you don't love Garrett Wilson, but he gets 1,000 yards
No.
with the worst quarterback in the league.
No, I do love Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson, to me, is the only known quantity on the offense.
Well,
the only
injuries
one.
because of injuries. But
And
if we just take out, well, Mike Williams isn't. I mean, I'm not worried about his injuries are an issue. He's actually supposed to practice today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
so game one, Mike Williams
all that
should be
matters.
out there.
Hey, CeeDee
Breece
Lamb's
Hall,
practicing.
When he plays, he's
Breece
nice
Hall's
and he's
good.
not old. The offensive line, yes, Teron Smith, you got to worry about the
Yes.
health, the age. But they drafted in, a
that
tackle
was smart.
in the draft. I think they added a little depth enough where if they have some injuries, they could sustain it. And Aaron Rodgers, I will say this, and you probably disagree, Nick, because he went to Egypt, okay? But the dude, I think he's all in. I gotta be
well,
honest.
That's an insane take.
I think he's
That's
all in. Even though he went to Egypt, and I didn't like that.
What about
He
considering
still
running for
was
vice
there in the
president?
off. Well, he didn't. All right, he didn't run for and his guy is still around somewhere. You know. All right. So he's all in. He was in the offseason workouts for the first time in years. He wasn't doing that with the Packers the last few years, and he is taking on the challenge. Like, he is not running away, which I think is too much. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. But he is not running away from Super Bowl expectations. He's actually playing into it.
I'll be honest.
You don't think he is?
No, well, I to a degree, but I looked at this more of like, I don't want to say wish casting.
That's a good word.
But that's probably a little stronger than I mean. I think, to me, this was more melancholy almost about, listen, I'm not going to have my career end the worst way imaginable, being carted off the field. I've dedicated my life to this. I am one of the greatest players ever. I am one of the most decorated players ever. And so the opposite of that is the greatest ending ever, which is, as he mentioned, you know, 2 all-time legendary quarterbacks have pulled it off, really, Elway and Peyton. Right. And by the way, neither one of those guys, under the circumstances that I think Rodgers would have to pull it off under.
Peyton?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're saying Rodgers has to play better.
Exactly. I think for the Jets to win, Rodgers has to be
in part because he's got to climb Mount Mahomes.
Well, he's in because the conference, because John Elway, 5 Super Bowls, 2 wins, all-time legendary player. But at the end, that was Terrell Davis. That was Terrell Davis. It was our guy Stink. It was it was that. The worst year of Peyton's career by a mile, even including, in my opinion, his rookie season when he threw 30 picks, was his final year when they won the Super Bowl.
Benched.
Right. He got benched, came back, and I'm not taking anything away from him. But so this would be very different. This would be kind of the greatest ending ever by a quarterback. In fact, not kind of, it would be.
If he wanted to retire.
The Elway back-to-back Super Bowls in the helicopter, that's pretty damn good too. But given the fact that he has been doubted, he has been criticized, he just popped his Achilles, this is a woebegone franchise. He'll be 41 when it comes around. So if we are talking about can he pull off a Disney movie ending for the New York Jets, no, I don't think that's realistic. I don't begrudge him for aspiring to this. I agree with Wildes that while I find certain things Rodgers has done and says and seems to believe to be just such a turnoff, to use weird terms, there's also occasionally I read one of these interviews or read this article and I'm like, that's a likable guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he came off that way.
And so
absolutely.
I have no issue with these statements, but I don't think they're realistic statements. I really don't. No.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to agree with you. It's within the realm of possibility, but no, I don't think it's going to happen. But here's a question, just to spin it forward, Brooke, because this is how I took it. Picture perfect ending is going out holding Lombardi. He's talked about playing 2 years, 3. That has kind of moved in a few different directions. And that's not totally dissimilar to what Brady did, where it's like, how long do you have? And it's coming back and forth. Do you think if they won this year that he would hang it up?
Well, he kind of contemplated that in the article. I feel like he would play. It would be story, but look, Michael Jordan couldn't do it. He walked away initially after the basket against Utah, but then came back. Rodgers seems like he wants to keep playing.
Okay.
So I
also
do feel like
I could make a strong argument like he seems to be interested in a lot of other stuff.
There's no doubt about that. And if he did win it, I would recommend he walk away because it's not going to get better. I don't think they'd go back to back. But I feel like he probably would keep playing.
Okay. You think he's hanging it up?
I think that there's the majority of outcomes that this season's going to end in have Rodgers retiring. I think there's very few where he comes back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think if it goes really poorly, he's retiring.
Yep.
If it's just like his last year in Green Bay, it's like, okay, it wasn't a disaster. We were alive for the playoffs at the very end and, didn't make it. Then it's just like, okay, this is who I am now. That's not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's kind